Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Monday's Maths. So, today and tomorrow we are going to be rewinding our learning about angles and shapes, okay? So, should be a really good topic for you all. Hopefully you remember lots and lots about it. And if you don't worry, we're going to go through it. And then Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, we are going to start a little rewind on multiplication. We're going to be looking at mental methods to try and get us even quicker. We're going to be looking at long multiplication, multiplying by 2-digit numbers, and just really making sure that all of those mental maths and arithmetic skills are ready for when we go to secondary school. Okay? Right. First of all, problem solving with angles. Let's get started. Okay then, first little rewind is this. What are the 4 types of angles? 4 types of angles. Can you remember the 4 names? Can you remember why they're named that? Can you match each one up with the diagram on the screen? Pause the video, have a go. Okay then, so 4 types of angles. Let's do this one first. So this one is nice and small, it's nice and cute, so we call it an acute angle. An acute angle is any angle less than 90 degrees, okay? So these are the small angles, less than 90, but bigger than 0. Right, this one, nice and easy. This one is a right angle, and it's exactly 90 degrees. And we can often tell this one because we put a little square there, and that tells us that that is a right angle. Remember that, we're going to need that later on. Okay, this one then is bigger than 90, but it's less than 180, which, as we know, is a straight line. This one is an obtuse angle. There it is. And the last one, this one's super flexible. This one's from 180 degrees, which is a straight line, all the way up to 360, which is a complete turn, a complete circle. This one is flexible, so it's called a reflex angle. Okay, it's more than 180 and less than 260. Right, if I was you, I would write this down somewhere, make a little fact box for today, because today is all about gathering the facts and gathering the information that you need. Right then, second little rewind is all about types of triangle. So I'm going to pause the video. Can you name the 3 different types of triangle? Okay then, answer time. So the first triangle has got all different length sides and all different angles, and it's called a scalene triangle. Okay, there is 2 examples of a scalene triangle. When all the angles are different, and it's when all the lengths are different as well. You can also have a right angle scalene triangle, because you could have a 90 degrees and a 40 degrees and a 50 degrees. So you can have a right angle scalene triangle as well. Right, next one then has got all the sides and angles the same. What's a triangle called that's got the angles and lengths the same? This one is equilateral, because they are equal. It's an equilateral triangle because they are the same. So if they are the same, this then tells me they must be 60, 60 and 60, because the angles in a triangle always add up to 180. Perfect. Right, the last one then. Well, you could argue a right angle triangle is a type of triangle. I would give you that if you'd written that one down as well. So we've had scalene, we've had equilateral. So this one is 2 sides the same and 2 angles the same, and it is an isosceles triangle. So an isosceles triangle has 2 sides the same, and if these are the 2 sides that are the same, these are the 2 angles that are the same as well. And you might also have a right angle triangle with one angle is 90 degrees. Okay then, every single time you see a question like this, an angles question, first things first, I feel like I've been saying it over and over during these reasoning problem solving lessons, gather your facts. What do you know? And if you don't remember these facts, that's why you've got your little fact box to write these things down. Okay, and the more you say them, the more you use them, the more you will remember them. So I'm looking at this shape, and it is a triangle. What type of triangle? Scalene triangle, because all the angles are different sizes and all the lengths are different. So I've got that in my brain. Right, what other facts can you tell me about a triangle? How many degrees are there in a triangle? Hopefully you're telling me there is 180 degrees. Right, if you know then that all the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, can you then work out this missing angle? Pause video and have a go. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to look at the missing angle. Now, this angle here, what type of angle is it? Well, it is acute. So if it's an acute angle, I know my answer has got to be less than 90 degrees. If I've got more than 90 degrees, I've gone wrong somewhere. So I know that this angle plus this angle plus this angle is going to equal 180 degrees. So I need to get rid of these two angles to then work out what this missing angle is. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can either add these two angles together first of all, and then take them away from 180 to see what's left. Or you can start with 180, which is the whole thing, take away 40, take away 110, and you'll be left with the missing angle. Either way would work. You'd get the same answer. You could even prove your answer by doing it both ways. I've gone for the first way. So I've gone for 110 add 40. I've added the parts. I've added the angles together, which is 150. The whole thing is 180. So take away the 150 and I'm left with 30 degrees. Does that look like 30 degrees? Does that look less than 45? Does that look acute? Yes, it does. So I'm happy that my answer is correct. Well done if you got that right. Right, question number 2. Again, gather your facts. What do you already know? Well, I'm looking at this and it looks like a semicircle, but it's also a straight line. So what do you know about a straight line? How many degrees in a straight line? Hopefully you're telling me the same as a triangle, 180 degrees. Right, if you know that, can you work out A and B? Pause the video and have a go. Right, so if I look at A then, I know that this is 180 degrees. There's 180 degrees in a straight line, so A plus 40 is going to equal 180. So if I do 180 and I take away that 40, I should be left with A. So 180 take away 40 is 140 degrees. Does this look like 140 degrees? Does this look like an obtuse angle? Yeah, it does. So I'm happy with my answer. Right, now I'm going to look at B. So again, it's on 180 degrees on a straight line. So 75 degrees plus B is going to equal 180 degrees. So to work it out, I need to do 180, take away that 75, cover up that 75. So I'm left with B. 180, take away 75 is 105 degrees. Does this look like 105 degrees? Is it just a bit bigger than 90? Yeah, I'd say it is. I'm happy with my answer. Well done if you got those right. Okay then, if you could have done question 1 and you could do question 2, you can absolutely do question 3. Now, I really want you to have a go at proving your answer here because there are 2 ways you can work this out. So, first things first, gather your facts. Have a look. What do you know? Pause the video, have a go. Right, answer time then. So first of all, look at what you can see. What do we know? Well, I can see that there's a triangle because it's got 3 sides. Looking at it, it looks like an isosceles triangle because it looks as though it's got 2 sides the same and 2 angles the same, but I'm not completely sure on that yet, but hopefully I can work that out in a moment. So it's definitely a triangle. It's definitely not equilateral. It might be scalene or it might be isosceles. I think it looks isosceles, but we'll find out. What do I know about a triangle? Well, I know that a triangle has got 180 degrees inside it. Right, if I know that then, I know that the top degree is 40, the second angle is 70. I'm going to add those together, which is 110. Then I'm going to take that away from 180. So 180 take away 110 is 70. So that tells me that A is 70 degrees. So was I right? Is it an isosceles triangle? Yeah, it is, because both those angles are the same, and if the angles are the same, the lengths are the same. So it is an isosceles triangle. So that's one way I could have worked it out, by adding up the interior angles of the triangle and taking them away from 180. But is there another way I could have done this? Well, if you look along the bottom where the 110 degrees is, I can see that actually I've got a straight line. Okay, fact time. How many degrees on a straight line? 180. So I know that 110 plus A is 180. So to work this out, I could do 180, take away 110, which would be 70 degrees. So I could do this either way. Super. Okay then, hopefully we're doing all right so far. How many degrees in a triangle? 180. How many degrees on a straight line? 180. Right, new one then. How many degrees around a point. So how many degrees in a circle? How many degrees around a point? So this is like two straight lines stuck back to back. So it'll be 180 at 180, which is 360 degrees. Okay, it's 360 degrees around a point. Just like if you did one spin on your chair, or if you did a flip on a skateboard or skiing, maybe you might hear it. They've done a 360 degree spin or trick. So 360 degrees around a point. Right, if you know that then, try and have a go at working out the missing angle on the screen. Have a go. Okay then, so I know that the whole circle, all the degrees around the point, equal 360. And I want to take this part away to work out the missing part here. So I need to do 360 degrees, and I need to take away 45 degrees, which would be 315 degrees. Now, if I look at this angle, does that look about 315 degrees? Is it a reflex angle? Yes, it is. So I'm happy that my answer is 315 degrees. Right then, let's go for our next question. Here it is. So, first things first, gather your facts. What do you know? Well, we know that this is around a point, and we know there's 360 degrees around a point. So how can we work out this missing angle? Well, again, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can either start at 360, take away 90, take away 105, take away 25, and be left with your answer. Or, and this is the way I would do it, add up all the angles you know first of all, and then do 360 degrees, take away those angles. So I've added 105, 25 and 90 to get 220, and then from 360 take away that 220 because it's 360 degrees around a point, and my answer is 140 degrees. Right then, challenge question. If you know how many degrees are in a triangle and you know how many degrees there are around a point, you should be able to work out B. Pause the video, have a go. Okay then, answer time. So, first things first, you need to work out this missing angle here, okay? And this is the thing with these kind of problems, is a lot of the time you need to do a few steps to get to the answer. So what I would say to you is, gather your facts, as normal, and then just work out as much as you possibly can. Even if you don't think it's what the question is asking you, work it out, because you might need it later on. So, to work out this angle here, I need to know what this angle is. Okay, so gather your facts. There's a triangle. How many degrees in a triangle? 180. So I need to add 45, add 80, which is 125. 180 take away 125 is 55 degrees. Right, now I know this angle. What other fact do I need to recall? Well, I now need to know that there's 360 degrees around a point. If this part's 55, what's this missing part here? Well, 360 take away 55 is 305 degrees. Well done. Right, well done. You are doing so well so far. How many degrees in a triangle? 180. How many degrees on a straight line? 180. How many degrees around a point? 360. Right, next fact then. I know this seems like we're going through a lot, but we have done this before. How many degrees in a quadrilateral? The answer is 360 degrees, same as around a point. Easy way to remember this is a square has got 4 right angles. Right angles are 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90 times 4, 360. If you want to write that fact down in your fact box, write it down. Right, first quadrilateral question then. What fact do we need to know? Well, we need to know that this is a quadrilateral because it's got 4 sides, and quad means 4, like quad bike has got 4 wheels. Quadruplets will be 4 babies. So, 4 sides is a quadrilateral. How many degrees in a quadrilateral? 360. Right, pause the video and use that fact to work out what x is. Off we go. Right then, answer time. So, first things first, same as we have been doing the whole way through, add up the parts that you know. So 100 degrees, add 95 degrees, add 60 degrees, which would be 255 degrees. Take it away from the whole. Well, it's a quadrilateral, so the whole is 360. 360 take away 255 is 105 degrees. Super work. Right then, last question before I let you go and have a go on Hegarty Maths. So, to work out some of these questions, you might have to think a little bit harder about some of the other rules and other properties of shapes. Okay, but you can work this out. So, I'll give you a few, if you want some hints, keep playing the video. If you want to pause it and have a go by yourself, that's absolutely fine. Right, hint number 1. When you are looking at A, what kind of shape is A? Gather your facts. How many sides does it have? 4. So we've got 4 sides. What is it? It's a quadrilateral. Okay, and if it's a quadrilateral, we know how many degrees are there in the interior angles add up to. This is a trapezium. Okay, it looks a little bit like a trapeze that gymnasts might swing on or acrobats at a circus. So because of that, I know, because it's a trapezium, and it's got one set of parallel sides, I know that the top 2 angles are equal. I also know that the bottom 2 angles are also equal. You're going to need to use this to work out those angles. For B, what kind of shape is B? Well, B again is a quadrilateral, but this time, because of the little arrows, I can see that there's 2 sets of parallel sides. So if there's 2 sets of parallel sides, the opposite angles are equal. For C, it's also a quadrilateral. It's got 4 sides, but it's not any kind of regular or named quadrilateral because all the sides look different. And, I suppose it's an irregular trapezium, isn't it, really? Because it's got 1 set of parallel sides. So it's an irregular trapezium if you really wanted to name it. You can work that one out nice and easy. And as for D, I think you can work that one out as well. Okay, pause the video, have a go, and we'll go through it. Right then. Answer time. So this is a quadrilateral which has got 360 degrees. Now I know, because it's a trapezium, that this angle and this angle are the same. And if you remember, we kind of said at school, this is almost like the base of an isosceles. If I could draw up here, it would make an isosceles triangle. And in an isosceles triangle, these 2 angles are equal. So when these 2 are equal, and it's like I've chopped the top off and these 2 are equal. So if this one's 135, this one is also 135 degrees. So together they equal 270 degrees. The whole thing is 360 degrees. So I'm going to do 360. I'm going to take away 270, which would leave me with 90 degrees. So I know that this angle and this angle together equal 90 degrees. Oh, how can I work out what each one is then? Well, remember these 2 angles are the same, so I can do 90 divided by 2, so each one is 45 degrees. So that one does have an angle of 45 degrees. We'll go down here now. We'll go for B. So B, all together we know it's 360 degrees. This is a straight line, which tells me the whole thing's 180. So if the whole thing's 180 and this part's 60, I know that this part, 180 take away 60, must be 120 degrees. Now, with parallelograms, I know that the opposite angles are equal. So if this one's 120, this one's also 120, which together makes 240. Right, the whole thing was 360, so I need to do 360, take away 240, which is 120 degrees. So that tells me that this angle and this angle, which are opposite, so they are equal because it's a parallelogram, these 2 both add up to 120 degrees. Right, how can I work out what one is then? Well, if they're both the same, they both equal together 120. They're going to be half of 120, so each one is 60. So does this one have an angle of 45? No, it doesn't. Right, I'm going to check the other 2 though to make sure I'm correct. Well, here, this is 90. This is 90. We know that. We know they are right angles because of the little square. So that's 180 degrees. 180 degrees add 135 degrees is 315. The whole thing is 360. 360 take away 315 is 45 degrees. Tick. And the last one, which quadrilateral does not have an angle of 45 degrees? Well, this actually isn't a quadrilateral at all. So actually this one, because it's not a quadrilateral. Okay, so B was really the one you were looking for, because which quadrilateral doesn't have an angle of 45 degrees? Well, it's this one, because this one actually isn't a quadrilateral. So B was the one you were looking for. Okay, well done for today. I hope you followed all of that. Hopefully you can remember all of those facts. There's now 4 different options for you to go on to Hegarty Maths. It's up to you which one you want to do. If you want to work on degrees in a triangle, 485, straight line, 477, degrees in a quadrilateral is 560, and degrees around a point is 812. If you want to do more than one, absolutely fine. If at any point you're unsure what the question is asking you, watch the Hegarty Maths video. Sometimes on Hegarty Maths, it will ask you, so it will do a little angle sign like this. Oops, sorry, this is very messy. It will do a little angle sign like this, and then it will ask you for angle A, B, C, and it will say, what is the angle of angle A, B, C? To work that out, what it means is you start at A, go to B, go to C. What's the angle we've drawn? Well, it's this one here, so I'm looking at angle B. So it's normally the middle letter that they've asked you to find. But again, if you're not sure, just watch the video on Hegarty. Right, well done for today. You've worked really hard on that and hopefully you remembered all of those rules. I will see you tomorrow for some more problem solving. Bye!